This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
It's Tuesday, August the 18th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with a sobering message from the recently installed Vice-Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, Sir Hilary, who is describing the influx of Sargassum weed as an international crisis and the greatest single threat facing the Caribbean economies. Addressing a Sargassum symposium hosted by the UWI Cayfield campus yesterday morning, Sir Hilary estimates that Barbados and the rest of the Caribbean would need as much as US $120 million and 100,000 people to clear the troublesome weed. He sees the situation as disturbing, saying the region's vital tourism sector was at risk.
This is the greatest single threat to the Caribbean economy that I can imagine. We know that our economies in this hemisphere in the Caribbean are the most sluggish in terms of responding to this global recession. And there are reasons why we are sluggish in our response. It has a lot to do with our lack of adequate research that drives innovation, that drives diversity of economic options and so on. So we are exposed from that point of view. And this threat before us now is disturbing. And why is it so? Because all of our strategic planners and our economists across the region have emphasized that tourism will be the primary industry that will drive this region out of this recession. It is where we have comparative advantages, it's where we have competitiveness, and this is where we can look most reasonably for economic action and activity to drive this region forward. And since that is true, and we know it to be true, then this is a threat not only to our tourism product, it's therefore a threat to our regional economy at a moment when we are most vulnerable.
The environmental problems that shut down Combermere School for most of last term may now have been resolved, but two others face possible closure during the coming year. Yesterday afternoon, President of the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union, BSTU, Mary Redmond, put the Frundle Stewart administration on notice that it needed to fix the sick building syndrome at Foundation and Harrison College as soon as possible, or the union would be pulling out its estimated 120 members out of those schools.
And don't think Combermere is the only one, because our next focus is Harrison College and Foundation that we are getting serious problems with. So you're going to be hearing about us in relation to those two schools in short order. Because if we do not get the type of response that we need to get to address those environmental concerns, then we're going to have to do what the law allows us to do. People under Section 104 can remove themselves from unsafe and unhealthy working environments, especially when the employer is seen not to react in a way that will safeguard their well-being.
The BSTU head announced that the union had instructed Combermere teachers who had been forced to hold classes most of last term at the Samuel Jackman Prescott Polytechnic that it was now safe to return to the Waterford base from the new school term next month. She said the executive was satisfied their members should return to Combermere after attending stakeholders meetings on August 11th and hearing reports from Sally Edwards, that's the PAHO scientist who conducted an environmental study on the school, and officials from various other government departments, including the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Joy St. John. Redmond said that even though the teachers were given the go-ahead to return to the classroom at Waterford, there were still some outstanding issues to be remedied, which she expected would soon be resolved.
And those issues include the need for removal of unused and expired chemicals. There are chemicals at the school and there is a difficulty in disposing of these chemicals. Of course, this is not so only of Commonwealth School. The ministry has engaged, however, in a process whereby they are having all of these chemicals listed on the various school compounds towards addressing their proper disposal.
In sports now, a Turkish Olympic champion has been stripped of her gold medal for doping. She's the London 2012 Olympic 1500-meter champion, Asli Kakır Altekin. The Court of Arbitration for Sport said she has also been banned for 8 years. An appeal by the world governing body, the IAAF, was upheld after the 29-year-old was cleared in Turkey.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Got it in my hand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Got to understand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Ain't nothing like a core bank spare. None of them others just can't compare. You just got to love that taste. It's the world-class thing this land makes. Whether I'm cruising or at a bar, whether I'm at home, my bank spare is never far. For this blessing, got to give God thanks. My Barbados, my bank.
And now to the big story from the regional scene. A second party has pulled out of next month's general elections in Trinidad and Tobago. The latest is the Democratic Party of Trinidad and Tobago, which says the difficult decision was made after evaluating the present political climate and the public response to the last 3 months of its sharing its vision for the country. The DPTT said it recognized that the mistrust by many citizens now had in two of the major parties and therefore realized the difficulty their new party would have gaining the trust of the people in the current environment. Only on Sunday, another new party, the Alliance of Independence Party, pulled out of the race so as to build its base and focus on next year's local elections. In more regional news now, the Guyana government says its sugar industry is too big to fail and is therefore embarking on a major revitalization of the sector. Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu is insisting that everything must be done to make sugar work, including placing more lands in the hands of private farmers.
This government will also be looking to complement cost-effective production with enhanced processing and marketing, as well as establishing programs for technical and financial support. We will also look at making more lands available to cane farmers and to stimulate cane farmers' cooperatives.
On the international scene, Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump says he wants to end the automatic right to citizenship for all U.S.-born children of families living illegally in the United States. All children born in the U.S. get citizenship under the Constitution. Other measures he outlined would include raising visa fees to pay for a wall along the Mexican border. Immigration is a central plank of Trump's campaign to be the Republican contender in next year's election. And finally, this story. An American man famed for dressing up as Batman and visiting sick children in hospital has died after he was hit by a car in Sargassum, Maryland. Police said Leonard Robinson's car had broken down in the fast lane of a major highway when the incident occurred. he was struck by his own Batmobile after another car careened into it. Robinson, 51, rose to fame in 2012 when a video went viral of him being pulled over by police because his car had invalid number plates. Known as the Route 29 Batman, Robinson has spent the last 14 years visiting sick children in hospital and handing out Batman paraphernalia in full superhero dress. According to the Washington Post, he sold his commercial cleaning business to help fund his Batmobile, a black Lamborghini. The paper said he spent more than $25,000 of his own money on Batman toys, T-shirts, and books to give to children. His son would occasionally join him on hospital visits dressed as Batman's sidekick, Robin. Now, he was never charged in the 2012 incident that thrust him into the public spotlight, telling police he was on his way to cheer children at a cancer ward in nearby hospital. Oh, wow, how sad. And that's where we end our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Lime TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.